Gromcast! Gromcast! Gromcast!
Hey people, welcome along to episode 6 of Gromcast. Slightly different tack with this one. We haven't got a guest. What we have got is a bit of a trial episode. I put a little poll out saying who wants to see some product reviews. You lot said yes. So if it doesn't work out, it's your fault. What we're reviewing today, we're going to be having a look at the latest addition to my riding kit collection. We're going to be having a look at the Etnies Culvert Mid riding shoe. I'm pretty sure, like most of you bikers out there, I've been a 5'10" guy for a very, very long time when it comes to riding flat pedals. I do mix and match between clips a lot and flats. And I've always been pretty fussy with needing that steel for upper sole. There's a reason why 5'10" have been top of the game for so long, but I think with these, Etnies given a really, really good run for their money, to the point where if someone said 5'10" had gone bust, not going to happen, and they weren't available anymore, I would be absolutely 100% happy with these shoes. They are that good. So let's have a little look at the tech features on these bad boys then. So the first thing we've got, having a look at their little list of spec things on here. We've got Action Nubuck synthetic. Yeah, so the material's pretty good actually. I've been running these for a good little while now. One of the advantages of working and coaching at Rogate Bike Park is that we're on our bikes damn near every single day, so we put a lot of mileage into kit pretty damn quick. All through the grot and the wet, my feet have not got wet in these yet. They have stayed quite dry. The uppers generally seem to have kept out quite well. And they've also, which we'll get into the features in a minute, they've also got a bit of insulation that helps keep your feet warm. It's got a pull loop on the back, so I'll pull them on. It's amazing how many shoe companies put a pull loop on the back of a shoe that is just absolutely no use whatsoever. You can actually stick your finger in this one and give it a flipping good yank to get it on your foot or off at the end of the day, whatever. Such a stupid minor detail, but makes all the difference. It's got a die-cut EVA foam midsole. I'll talk a bit more about the sole altogether, because that's what I think what really, really makes this shoe. It's got the EVA foam in there for a bit of impact protection, and that's got the Profoam one moulded PU footbed, whatever that means. It's also got a TPU moulded pedal shank 2 in the midsole. So the pedal shank, basically, I'm guessing, is what they've got to get the right blend of stiffness in this shoe. I think they've cracked it on that front. Get more onto the sole and specifics later. There's another little nifty thing on this one that a lot of shoes have, that they're just executed badly. Shimano have done things. They've got complete lace covers on them to keep the laces out of the way. Other ones have just got loops on the tongue. Etnies have done this properly. So when you've got your laces done up on the shoe, if I get my finger here, they have got a proper pocket at the top of the tongue. So once you've done your laces, you can fudge them all up in there out of the way. And by the time that power strap on over the top's done up, you are lovely and secure, and it all looks super clean. And your laces don't get laces don't get all gungy and horrible and end up like tied shut in the wet. We all know what biking in the UK in the winter's like. It can get pretty minging, and that actually helps keep things out of the way. But generally, it just keeps things super tidy. Another little nice feature on these shoes. Which then brings me to this little power strap. Obviously, once you've got it laced up, this just cinches things down, and it just makes them feel super secure on your foot, almost like some of the more like the clipless shoes. The minute I put these on, they just felt right. It is absolutely impossible to quantify what right means. It's going to feel different for everyone, but these shoes just felt really good on my feet. There's a lot of nice support in the upper. They've got a 3/8 insulet lining, so they do keep the warmth in. I think in the summer these are going to be a bit toasty, but normally in the summer when I'm riding, I'm sweating my nuts off anyway, so I don't think it's going to be biggie. And I used to ride in the 5'10" Element free riders, which are another weatherproof one. Yeah, a bit sweaty than normal ones, but not a massive big one for me. But if you suffer with hot feet in the summer, these might not be the one, but they do have other versions of their bike shoes. Yeah, so I think the combination of that 3M insulate liner, along with the really good sound choice materials up top and the strap, it just feels really solid on your foot. It's a really nice platform for your foot on the pedal. They've definitely got all of this right. Apparently it's got a hot melt with toe and heel cap. I'm guessing that's this lovely smooth bit around here. The heel cap's actually got a little bit of a reflective hint in it, which I only noticed when I was riding home the other week, and when the headlights catch it. So if you're pedaling home at dark, your heel's going to be lighting up a little bit. Nice little touch. It says force shield reinforced upper. I don't know what that means, but none of the stitching's gone yet. Obviously, the amount of mileage that we put on the bikes at Rogate, things like stitching and whatnot start going pretty damn quick. It's what I've got to level at 510 is that some of the newer ones I've tried don't seem to last as long as the old ones. They just seem to just wear out a bit faster. Not as fast as others, which I'll get onto that in the next section of this sort of comparison shoes, but generally this seems to be a really, really hard-wearing shoe so far that's just coped with everything I've thrown at it. So I suppose the next part of it, which is the bit that everybody wants to know about, is what is on the bottom. So they've teamed up with Michelin. They've got their lovely grippy rubber compound, their new one on there. It's good. Don't need to say any more than that. This is as grippy as 510s. Simple. Combined with the stiffness in the sole, I have not slipped a pedal once. Pedals aren't pedals. The sole isn't showing any signs of wear yet. I'll get some other shoes that I've had as a comparison shortly, so you can see what I'm on about. But these are wearing really well. They feel great. And unlike some of the really grippy ones like the Impact Pros and stuff from 510, you can still shift your foot around a bit more. I'm still slightly confused with this because it's very grippy and really sure-footed, but it's got just enough. So if you haven't got your foot quite right, you can normally have a little jiggle about on the pedal and get your foot exactly where you want to. It's got your whole kind of pedal zone in the middle with these sort of like diagonal stripes, and then we've got these little areas here, which are some slightly deeper lugs, supposedly to help with off the bike grip. I think when it's dry, that's going to be fine, but winter in the UK, I've got to be honest, this is the only bit of the shoe that I think is a fail. But if it's really muddy, you're going to be slipping around a little bit, pushing up stuff. But I don't really think it's that much of a biggie, to be honest. The rest of the shoe is just so good and so well put together. I really, really, really rate these shoes. I picked them up in this amazing green colour, maybe up to 6 to 8 weeks ago. I found them on the Etnies, direct from the Etnies website. They had them on offer at $49.95. For that money, couldn't really go wrong. These are still full retail, is around about the £100 mark. I think if you are looking for another pair of flat pedal shoes, certainly for UK in the winter, you absolutely need to try and get a set of these on. General feedback from the odd rider I spot in them, and speaking to Etnies themselves, is that a lot of people, like me, they've tried other brands of shoe and they've just been bitterly disappointed. And they end up going back to 510s, which they're pretty good, but I found a model I'm like 100% happy with. Whereas these have just ticked all the boxes and far surpassed my expectations. I came in not expecting a lot, thinking it's be like some of the other pairs of shoes I've had. Like I've had North Waves, some Giro, spend with your bike or roadie, which are a bit of a disappointment. These have just smashed it out of the park. I'm really keen to try the clipless version of this because I do run clips as well for a lot of summer trail riding, to see if they're as good as the flat pedals are. But they also do lower cut versions. They've got Brandon Semenick signatures. They've got the Emil Johansson Camber one. They've got the Camber Crank. I really would say go and check out the the range of shoes from them. Certainly the Culvert Mid and the Camber, where they've really got the balance of super grippy sole and stole stiffness, all bang on. I don't think there's any other word for it. They do keep a lot of the winter muck out. Obviously, that tongue in the is actually gusseted as well, so that helps keep the. There's not just elastic straps down the side, all the tongue's flap around loose. They do a really good job of keeping most of the muck out. What more can I say? I think that this is one of the best flat pedal shoes I've tried in the last 10 years. I'll still say that, these are as grippy as 510s. I don't think there's much contest, but you can just move your foot around a bit more with these. Personally, I think they look cooler. Also, I'm a bit of a old school, child of the late 90s, so I quite like them. I'm more of probably a skate shoe influenced kind of guy. A lot of the 510 models, as much as they work practically, I'm not into the more kind of running shoe styling, although it's really kind of irrelevant if the performance is there. But I just think these look the bomb, really, especially these green ones. That's why I bought them. But they do loads of colours, so I'm sure we can pretty much find one that's going to be to your liking. Other note is on sizing. I know that some shoe manufacturers, they do have a habit of coming up either too big, too small. These are bang on. If you're a size 9 like I am, order a size 9. Absolutely spot on. They're not particularly narrow fit. They're not an excessively wide fit. They're just good. There's loads of room in the toes. Your toes are getting pinched or bunched up. Fist bump to the Etnies designers. You've generally just got everything about this shoe pretty much bang on. Super impressed.
Okay, advert time, folks. This episode is brought to you by none other than Scrub Wheels. You can find those at scrubwheels.com. I'm a brand ambassador for them. I am running the Alloy Enduro wheel set. You cannot go wrong with them. They are so good. Go check them out. They have all sorts on their websites to build whichever wheels you want. scrubwheels.com.
Okay, so why do I think the Etnies shoe is so good? Let me run through some other models of shoes that I've run before to give you some idea of what I'm going on about. The classic, the eponymous 510 Freerider. I've used various versions of these shoes over the years. My favourite pair was probably the Freerider Elements. The weatherproof upper made them a bit more sort of tough and supportive, but this canvas one, the Prime Blue, the Eco one, made from recycled stuff, which is a good thing. Part of the all of Adidas's general, I was about to say greenwashing then, but that's not fair. They basically make it all out of recycled stuff, which is a really cool thing. Those elements, like these ones, quite a nice supportive upper. I found the normal Freeriders to be a bit too trainery. And also with these ones, the sole is quite flexy and a little bit thinner than most. So I actually really like these as a summer riding shoe. I also think as well, the rubber compound they use on the Prime Blue versions of the Freeriders, I don't think it's quite as grippy as some of the regular Freeriders. Great shoe though. Just a little bit thin, so if I'm on the bike all day, can get a little bit tiring on my feet, but I'm more than happy riding around in these. These are, you just can't really go wrong with a pair of these, to be honest, as long as you're happy with the looks. That's a total personal thing, whatever. I've also got a set of the Sleuths, or Sleuth DLXs. Very much a summer dirt jumpy muckabout shoe. I mean, for proper riding, I don't really think they're the one. Whereas something like Freeriders, I do like riding something that feels a bit more like a trainer rather than some crazy shoe. I used to ride in the 510 Impacts quite a lot and love them, but very bulky. And certainly the older versions had quite a tall stack height on the sole. So the Impact Pro certainly were a lot better. But yeah, generally it's pretty good. Sole wear's all right. Also, I've ridden these since last January, all through the summer, and you can have a look on the sole there. That is after a whole season of bike park abuse. I think I've got one little chunk out here from the pins on my trusty DMR vaults. I've taken a lump out there. Otherwise, they're wearing really well. Which other shoes I've ridden before have not done that well. Which brings me on to my next pair. I had these for a bit. About 3 years ago, I got given these. Northwave. These are the Clan model. I'm not quite sure if they do these or even do a current version. this had the potential to be a really, really good shoe. The uppers are amazing. Not good for the winter because it's all very breathable, like lots of breathable sections on it. Look great. Really supportive on your foot on the upper, but massively let down by the sole. So stiff. Like, the rubber compound on it is the Michelin one again. Not sure which version of it, but actually the compound itself is pretty grippy. It's pretty good. But there's no point putting a grippy rubber like that on when you've got a sole on there that is so stiff. Like, if my foot's on the pedal in rough sections, doesn't matter how much you drop your heels into that pedal, they would just the whole shoe's just ruined by an overly stiff sole, really. And it also, after probably about 6 months of riding, you have a look at the sole on the bottom of this one. There's a hell of a lot. It was literally starting to like just chew through the rubber on this one, which the Etnies I've got at the moment with the latest Michelin sole is not showing any signs of. So it's kind of, it was, this top bit was good. Sole and everything is ruined by that ridiculously stiff sole on. I don't know why Northwave did that. Really let themselves down there. Another pair of shoes which I actually really like riding, and these gyros. I think these are the Jacket, I think they call them. Let's have a look. Yeah, these are the Jacket 2. Actually really nice to ride in these. I really liked them. They weren't as grippy as a 510, but definitely grippy enough. Not quite as grippy in the wet. Quite a flexy sole, but not too much. Still really comfortable to ride in all day. Nice support. Really nice uppers. It generally kept a lot of the weather out. More breathable than the current Etnies got. There's a lot more perforation in the upper. There's a little loop to tuck your laces in, but you can see even from that it's nowhere near as clean as like Etnies have done it on theirs. And these had the Vibram. Recognise the yellow one. I know Shimano uses quite a bit of the Vibram sole on there. Yeah, not as grippy as the 510. Grippier than most, but the biggest problem with it was if you have a look at the sole of this shoe. So this was literally, these started wearing even after like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 2 months of riding. Say these holes are all starting to appear. You can literally see where my foot sits on the pedal. That's the rear pins they're gouging in. In fact, if you look at both of them together, you can see like even the Vibram logo has been started to tear off, and the right one, it actually got to the point where it literally went right through the sole there, so I ended up with the pedal pin literally in my foot, which is a real shame because the rest of the shoe's good. They just, for summer riding, these are great. They just didn't last. But so they're my kind of kick about in between changing rubbishy days. So yeah, I was say if you are looking for a new flat pedal shoe that is not a 510 and you want to try something different without risk of riding a not good shoe, try a set of the Etnies Culvert Mid out, basically. Huge fan. I'll be honest, I'm not going to be swapping shoe brand anytime soon, to be honest. Been a 510 guy for years, really. Really good, but even with these prime blue canvas ones, I started to get, even after like just a year of use, I've got a little hole in the upper there on the toe box. It really happened on both pairs, on both shoes, even out the pair. These just, even whatever this material is, it just is really tough. You know, these have kicked and glanced stumps and things and rocks and whatnot while I've been riding. The soles just aren't really. I can't see any signs of wear on these yet. What more do you want from a shoe? For the price I picked them up for, it's an absolute steal. They're not currently available for that money. I think these might have been the last year's colourways. They're maybe having a bit of a warehouse clear out, which is a shame because I think these green ones look the absolute nuts. I think these are well good. And my nearly 6-year-old son calls them Hulk shoes. So there you go. Hulk smash. But yeah, really, really good shoe. If you're looking for a alternative, go get a set of them. You cannot go wrong with those. Mega impressed. Good value for money. They appear to be lasting really well. I'll give you an update maybe if this review is accepted well. I'll do another one, a real long-term one. But I mean, these have been almost a couple of months in, and I just can't fault them. I think the biggest thing is the grip is as good as 510, and just the overall feel of the shoe on your foot is really sure-footed and confident. When you get a set of these stuck to a solid pedal, they just work. You can't really go wrong with that. Winner.
Gromcast. Gromcast. Gromcast.